Welcome to the second of 3 modules on developing a prototype for your business. This material has been created through a collaboration between Brad Barbeau, Associate Professor in the College of Business, and Marta Gubanova, a master's student in the Instructional Science and Technology program in the School of Computing and Design, both of CSU Monterey Bay. The goal of these modules is to apply a customer-centered approach to prototype development at a level of understanding suitable for entrepreneurs who are not professional designers, but who want to make their businesses successful by building their customers' needs, wants, and perceptions into every element of their businesses. We return to the principle that as entrepreneurs, we want to influence the future to go the way we want. In the spirit of our entrepreneurial work, the best way to predict the future is to design it. These modules will show you how. As you recall from the first module, we are diving into the product development cycle, from the idea and value proposition to prototyping. In the previous module, we described our customer in detail by creating a customer persona. We wanted to define how our archetypal customer thinks, feels, and acts, their experience, around the problem that we're solving. In this module, we'll map their interaction with the problem, how they become aware of the problem, how they plan how to solve it, how they take actions to solve it, and how they assess the outcomes of their actions. We'll do this through employing journey maps and key paths. We begin with the process of understanding the customer's experience with the problem, from awareness to action to reflection. Let's start with a simple example that will illustrate the method. Suppose our archetypal user is sitting in a room and decides that more light is needed. How might he or she proceed? First, they realize, I want more light so I can see better. And then think, I'll turn on some lights. I'll walk to the wall and move the light switch up. Then they attempt to do that action and look around and notice that they can see better, and if they can see better, they've succeeded. We can generalize from our simple example to a description of the set of steps that people use, unconsciously mostly, in solving a problem. First, you form a goal. I want more light so I can see better. Then you form an intention. I will turn on some lights. You specify the action you're going to take. I will walk to the wall and move the light switch up. You execute the action. They attempt to do the action. They perceive the state of the world. I look around. They interpret the state of the world. Can I see better? And they evaluate the outcome. If I can see better, I've succeeded. This is a cycle of awareness, action, outcome, evaluation that we all go through when we do things. Understanding this cycle will help us map out the interaction of a user with our focal problem and with our intended solution. We want to remember that in addition to the sequence of actions, there is also a sequence of thoughts and feelings, an experience that the person has while taking those actions. What the person says, thinks, and feels in addition to what they do. Here's an example that maps both the sequence of actions and an array of experiences that the user might have during each stage of the interaction. As you can see, there are 2 parts of the graph. The upper half is describing positive thoughts and feelings, and the lower half lists frustrations and negative feelings that the customer might experience. The journey map is built around a timeline with touch points where the customer interacts with the product or service, from anticipation of the service to using it to reflecting on the results. Think about your last visit to Starbucks or any other coffee shop you might have visited. What were you thinking and feeling when you entered the store, when you placed your order, while you were waiting, when you picked up your drink, when you were drinking it? What were the highs and lows of that sequence? And what might some opportunities have been for them to improve your experience? Take a moment and write these down. You can pause the video here. Here's another example of how a journey map can be built. This journey map is focused on the process of ordering a pizza online. How does it match with your last experience ordering pizza online? Note that the map describes emotions and thoughts as well as action. It also identifies opportunities to improve the experience at every stage of the process. A journey map is a visualization of the process that a person goes through in order to accomplish a goal. Journey mapping starts by compiling a series of user actions into a timeline. Next, the timeline is fleshed out with user thoughts and emotions in order to create a narrative. This narrative is condensed and polished, ultimately leading to a visualization. Journey maps come in all shapes and sizes. Regardless of how they look, journey maps have the following key elements in common. There is an actor. The actor is the persona or user who experiences the journey. The map is built from this user's point of view. A scenario. The scenario describes the situation that the journey map addresses and is associated with an actor's goal or need. For example, a scenario could be switching mobile plans to save money, or visiting a dealer to purchase a car, or going to the grocery store. Scenarios can be real for existing products and services, or anticipated for products that are in the design stage. We will be focusing on creating the new scenario with your product. Journey phases. Journey phases are the different high-level stages in the journey. They provide organization for the rest of the information in the journey map, actions, thoughts, and emotions. For example, for a business-to-business scenario, like rolling out an internal tool, the stages could be purchase, adoption, retention, expansion, and advocacy. Actions, mindsets, and emotions. These are behaviors, thoughts, and feelings that the actor has throughout the journey and that are mapped within each of the journey phases. And opportunities. Opportunities, along with additional context such as ownership and metrics, are insights gained from mapping. They speak to how the user experience can be optimized. You might use opportunities to define key elements of the user experience that you want to create. Now that you've seen how a journey map looks, it's time to create one of your own. Your task will be to take the persona you created in the last stage and develop a journey map for that persona interacting with your product or service. For this exercise, you will use an online tool created by Custulence. You'll need to go to www.custulence.com, note the odd spelling of Custulence with all E's, and create a free account. The tool is easy to learn and use. A free account should work fine for this project. You can share your maps with members of your team who will then be able to view them but not edit them. Please also share them with me. To work together, you can have a Zoom meeting and assign one person to drive and share her or his screen. Here's a simple journey map for the light switch example. I created this map in a free Custolence account in a short period of time. It's not very fleshed out. You should go into more depth for your product, but then your product is a little more complex than a light switch. Here's the guideline for creating a journey map. Complete all the steps and draw a one-slide map for your primary persona. As you create your map, identify touch points or trigger points where the user may have a change in emotion. Identify opportunities and pain points important to defining your user's experience. And iterate, iterate, iterate. The more depth to the development of your map, the better you'll understand how your product will need to be designed. And that is the goal of this exercise. For this exercise, you'll create a journey map for the product or service that you're creating. With a free account, you won't be able to print the map or create multiple maps, but you can take a screenshot and put that into your persona slide deck. Submit your updated persona slide deck before class on Thursday. Good luck, and we'll see you on Thursday.